Want me to start? Okay. Well, you guys expended so much energy, getting back in it and tying things up in that fourth quarter. Do you feel like you kind of ran out of gas, or kind of what happened in that last stretch?
There might have been some of that, but there were a lot of coverage mistakes. We struggled offensively to execute and get good looks, but the coverage mistakes on the other end those are inexcusable. Ball games is tight. I think a little over 3.5 minutes to play, and they finished on 17 or 18 to 4 run. It's just it can't happen. We're better than that. And I was proud of the way that we responded. After getting down early, but we got to find a way to just tighten it up on both ends of the ball in crunch time.
When you speak of those coverages, is that primarily kind of against Giannis? Because you guys he put up some numbers, but at the same time, he was pretty contained for the most part. But it seemed like when it was 88, I think he kind of like just started to put his head down and get to the rim a little bit more.
Yeah, I think it's some of that, but I think it was a little bit of everybody. I can't point to one person and say it was this situation. But make subs come in after timeouts. We all have to make sure we're locked in. Everybody's on the same page. There was some slippage there, or some miscommunications that wound up costing us.
Just any update on Beal, anything you've heard, and also Bryant's situation? I guess it looked like an ankle there.
Yeah, he sprained an ankle. But we'll take a look at it and see what they think. Brad was evaluated, and then they'll reevaluate him in about a week. So we'll see how that goes. He'll probably be out for the next 3 or 4 games, and then we'll see hopefully how it responds.
Chris.
Wes, can you just describe kind of just searching right now with the team struggling, and then you're dealing with another injury with Bryant? Just kind of describe the mood of the group, just trying to find a way to get a win right now.
Well, it's a challenge. We have to kind of help build each other up, and no one likes to lose, and there's, I'm sure, a lot of pent up frustrations anytime things don't go well. But I think it's one of those things where this is a test. And we have to kind of go through the fire here a bit to get to the other side. And hopefully that we're gaining some traction, and doesn't necessarily play out in wins, but that fight, that grit, we've got to have it. And I think so. We've shown that a little bit. I thought we did tonight, especially in the second half. But
with TB going down with that ankle, obviously it'll be hard maybe for him to play tomorrow. Can you describe what you were able to get from Montrezl tonight?
Trez was great. It's tough because they're switching lineups, and it kind of negates the pick and rolls, but we could play through him in the post. We've seen that before, his ability to score in the post and hit cutters. So that part was good for us. And I think the size with Rui, Denny, those two out there with Kuz, who were able to switch quite a bit, and for the most part contain Middleton. And Giannis he's a tough cover for anybody. But I did like the size component, the positional size we were able to throw out there.
Josh.
Wes, I think I'm not sure if I heard you correctly, but I believe you said that the team had trouble executing its offense there down the stretch. What did you see for the most part there in those sequences?
Well, I think, coming off, at the timeout, we had a couple plays that weren't executed correctly. It just goes back to that miscommunication. If we're not certain where we need to be, I got to make sure guys understand it, and they got to make sure to help each other out so we can get a good look. It's a pivotal time in the game. We can't afford not to come away with something.
Thank you.
Chase.
Hey Wes, given that it's a back-to-back, can you rule out Thomas at this point for tomorrow's game?
I'm not going to do that, but it was a significant sprain, so if I had to go with my gut, I would say he's probably out tomorrow. But there's always a chance, and I don't want to we'll put past it right now.
And I think you guys had 7 turnovers in the second quarter. What kind of happened there? Is as you guys were having trouble protecting the ball?
I think a lot of those were unforced. It's just playing too fast, playing in crowds, not where we should be spatially, kind of all the things that we talked about. This team really tries to speed you up, but very aggressive and handsy. If you play in a crowd, they're going to take it. So it was good to see us respond. Second half, I think we only had 2 turnovers for 3 points, so kept that number down. I think that allowed us to, climb back into it, make it a ball game until those last 4 minutes. It also helped slow their fast break points. I think they had 12 or 14 early in the game, and in the first half, and few in that second half.
And Spencer, he got some shots to fall late, but what do you think for the first, 2.5 quarters of the game was going on with him offensively?
What was going on with everyone? And their switching bothered us. We've seen that before, where the team switch and we kind of stagnate. I thought we got better as the game went, creating secondary actions, keeping energy in the ball, sprinting in, slipping out, opening up the floor, and trying to get it, head of steam to attack. And when we did that, we generated some good looks. But the first quarter and a half, I thought we just kind of fell into that, stagnated quite a bit, and it didn't go well.
Neil.
Hey, Coach, I know, you're not into moral victories, but is there anything that you can take positive out of here that you hope that can be reapplied tomorrow?
I thought, our competitive spirit was good. We started slow, obviously, but the fact that we stayed with it, kind of got ourselves together and pulled together enough to make it a game. That's a positive. To your point, moral victories don't do us a whole lot of good right now. Still things we can learn, and we have to continue to find ways to get better.
When you say that, there are miscommunications during the game, both on offense and defense, do you think that's a byproduct of, just lapses, mental lapses in the moment of the game that you hope are just one-offs, or is it a common theme that you can sense?
I don't know if it's a common theme tonight. I'm hoping it's a one-off, but we had too many of them in that stretch. So there is, it's a bit disappointing in that. But in general, it's going to happen. You're not going to play a perfect game, but in a crucial juncture of the game, as we saw tonight, you just can't have that many.
Thanks, Coach. Safe travels.
Thank you.
That's it, Coach. Thank you for your time.
All right, what's up, Trace?
What's up with it?
Kind of what got started clicking there in that third quarter, especially kind of during the end, you seemed like you got a lot more aggressive and was able to kind of chip in with Kuz and help bring you guys back. Just curious, what started working for you then?
Not really, man. Just started getting touches, man, and just started, attacking the basket really. I felt like I know they were switching down the line 1 through 5, and by the time the matchup came to me when they were trying to fix it, I just felt like I had a better matchup in the post and in the mid post area. It's something I worked on in my game all summer long, and I was just able to find a good groove, find the touches, and just try to make sure I finished with our team. It was tough. Stretch was in a tough game, and try to do everything I can and will to get a win. That's it.
You guys expended so much energy to kind of get back in it, and then it was hard to close out down this stretch. What kind of played into that last stretch?
Really what you said, man. We exerted so much energy in the beginning, down big. We hung around, but these guys get paid to do the same exact thing that we do. They're a great team. They've been together for a while. They've won an NBA championship. So we can't, ease in the games and feel like we could just kind of, take our time to kind of get things going, and then, feel like we can pick it up and play. We got to be ready to play once the ball is thrown up, and, as soon as the jump ball happens.
Just one last one for me. What's the vibe in the locker room right now? I know the wins aren't showing up, but are you guys staying in good enough spirits?
Yeah, we got to, man. Because like I tell the guys all the time, like I tell them, before we break the huddle, to go out for the game, man. Nobody's gonna feel bad for us, man. Nobody's gonna, stop, treating us the way they treat us. Nobody's gonna stop coming at us. Nobody's gonna stop playing, man. They're gonna continue to beat our ass until we figure it out. Simple as that, man. And that's just the way that anybody should look at it. And that's the way that I would come in it, if I was on any other team in the NBA. You just got to keep applying that pressure to them until they figure it out. And I told the guys that, that's what's going to have to take. We got to figure it out. Nobody feeling bad for us. Nobody's gonna say, oh, they, double this, double that. Everybody in the NBA is making adjustments, man. Everybody's going out through injuries, COVID, and everything, man. So we just got to figure it out. Simple as that, man. So I think the energy in the locker room is just to the point where that's what we're trying to do. Simple as that. But at the end of the day, like I said, we're gonna have to do it together as a collective group.
Cool. Appreciate you.
Chris.
Trez, can you describe the professionalism you guys have to have during this time of the year, knowing what's looming on February the 10th?
Honestly, I don't even know what February the 10th is. So you just do a date out there that somebody might need to inform me about, but I don't know. Honestly, like I said, man, if you're looking at as far as that break comes, I guess that's what that is, the February 10th mark. But if you're worried about that or looking, hence to try to get to that, man, then you're in the wrong profession, man. We gotta go out and play. We gotta go out and do our jobs and play the game to the end. And that's every night. We can't look ahead as to upcoming breaks that we have coming up, or we can't look ahead at our schedule in general, man. We got to come in one game at a time, one night at a time, man, with a set plan on how to be able to take this team out of what they do good and win a basketball game, man. So if that February 10th mark is the All-Star break that you're speaking on, brother, you just brought some news to my attention, I guess. But
February 10th is the trade deadline.
Oh, well, shit, see what I mean? You brought something totally up to my attention, brother. Honestly, like I said, me as a player, I don't really worry about that. It's not really up to me to have to get into. It's more so for my agent, and I think that's the same as that way that every player in our locker room should be looking at it, man. It's out of our control, it's out of our hands, man. They're going to do what they want to do as far as the organization goes. As far as the pieces that they want to move, and that's just that, man. So as far as if you're worrying about that or that's looming in the back of your mind, then like I said, you worry about the wrong things, man, because whatever happened, that's gonna happen. That's out of your control no matter what, man. So I hope nobody in our locker room is worried about that. I don't think nobody in our locker room is really worried about that. But like I said, we still got to get to the point where we got to figure out what we need to do in order to get back on the winning track. So.
One question about the game and the foul that they called on you, the flagrant one on Giannis. You play a certain way, but back in the 80s and 90s, that probably would have been looked at as just like a common foul.
It was a common foul. It was a common foul. I'm not talking about the 80s and the 90s. I'm not talking about back then. That was a common foul. The only reason he fell the way he did is because he's coming down the lane with a lot of force, and he was in front of me. I didn't hit him around the head. I did hit him around the neck and face area. I hit him on the arm, and he just went down to the ground hard, like I said, because he was going with that much momentum. So. That's as much as I'm going to talk about it on that. I'm not about to get into the back and forth of, oh, he's a dirty player or he does this, trying to take guys out. No, he drove down the lane. I was behind him. I was running to catch up the play. I went across his arm that he was laying the ball up with. In discussion, how he fell is just from our trajectory and how fast he was running. That's all it was, man. So at the end of the day, it should have been another common foul. But once again, he has the statue and has that ability and the name that comes with the MVP status, and I understand that. I understand once I hit them that 9 out of 10, they probably was going to give me a flagrant. I didn't think it was a flagrant. I don't think nobody else felt it was a flagrant, but it is what it is, man. You move on to the next play. It's a basketball play, and that didn't change the difference of the game. That wasn't the momentum swing of the game, man. Like I said, we waited too long to start playing defense early on, got down early, and then we didn't have enough juice to close it out. Simple as that.
Thanks, Trez.
Yeah.
Chase.
Hey, Trez, you guys got the offense going in the second half. This season, when your guys' offense has been playing to its potential, what kind of leads to that? What needs to be there for you guys to play as well as you can on that end of the floor?
To be honest with you, brother, I couldn't tell you, man. I'm more so focused on just going out trying to do all the little things and everything I can, help my team get that energy, that, the extra will, that extra push to, get us over the edge to, be able to win a basketball game. As far as, what we need to do to make the offense go or gel and, runs more smoothly, I don't really have the answer for it. It's not really, for me to have the answer. I'm just trying to go out there and play as hard as I can and, keep my teammates rallied into it and make sure that we're all on the same page on both ends of the floor. As far as how the offense is moving right now, I don't really have an answer for that. It's like I said, it's not really my job to really know, the ins and outs of it.
That's all the time we have. Thanks, Trez.
Thank you.
Early in the game, we're just talking about the offense struggling, but you kind of got going there in that second quarter and third quarter and kind of held things together until other parts of the offense kind of started working and you guys were kind of able to pull up. Do you go out with that mindset with, okay, we don't have Brad, things aren't necessarily clicking, let me try to carry us until things do get operating a little bit better?
Yes and no. I don't think about carrying at all. When I'm out there, I'm trying to just make the right basketball play while being aggressive at the same time. If someone's open, I try to look at that, and that's the right play to make. But when I have a chance to, see the ball going once, whether getting to the free throw line or having a mismatch that I like, trying to attack and then trying to find that rhythm, like you kind of saw in the second half. That's kind of how I process the game. So.
What's the key to closing out a game like this? I know you guys fought so hard and used so much energy to get back into it. But things got a little bit out of whack during that last little bit of stretch. How do you guys change that?
Yeah. This was one of our better games in the last couple of weeks. For us to just fight like that, that's something that we haven't seen in a couple of games. So, leading with that, obviously that's good. But I think the last maybe 4 minutes, we just kind of fell apart a little bit. We didn't execute offensively. We had a couple of plays, a couple of situations where we wanted to get Grayson Allen in certain actions and we didn't. And then, defensively, a couple offensive rebounds, a couple missed rotations, the hit dagger three. So, especially in the fourth quarter when you play a championship caliber team, you have to be your P's and Q's. You have to be tight. And tonight they weren't in the last 4 minutes. So
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Josh,
Kyle, what elements from tonight do you hope the team takes into tomorrow night in Philly?
Man, I really loved playing with Denny and Rui out there. I think that's one thing that really looked well. We were able just to switch, keep a body on Middleton, keep a body on Drew, and keep a body on Giannis, just with size. I thought that was good for us. Hopefully we can find a little cohesiveness, but I think that was good. I think outside of the last couple minutes defensively, how we competed, in the third and half of the fourth, I thought that was great. And I think that's the main thing. Obviously defensively, that's kind of been really lost this year with us. And it just felt good to play, team defense like that. It looked good, felt good. So
Thank you.
Chris,
Hey, Kuz, tonight TNT had you mic'd up, and there were a couple of times that they went to you talking about leadership and just kind of just showing guys, hey, listen, this is what I'm seeing. One instance you were telling TV you like the way he shoots. You'd rather him take a shot than turning the ball over. Can you just describe, is that how you've kind of been throughout the year communicating with the guys in real time?
That one was actually, I was talking to Denny. He threw the ball, I threw it to him in the corner. He didn't shoot it when he had a shot, and he tried to hit TB, which was a good pass, good read, but I thought it was a good shot. But no, I just try to just lift my hand out there every time and I'm playing. If I see something, I say something. I'm not trying to overstep or do it, do the extra. But when I see something, I'm going to say something and just use my voice. I've been in this league not that long, but I play with a lot of great players, and I know how the game is supposed to be played. And it's important in times like this. When you have a team like us, we're under a lot of distress right now. But if we could just help one another out, it'll be a little bit easier. So
Appreciate it, Kuz. Thanks.
last question to Neil.
Who's coach was talking about just some of the important high leverage situations, communication mistakes, both on offense and defense. How do you see those are, those easy fixes to try and take moving forward, or are there recurring themes that need to be cleaned up?
Recurring things that need to be cleaned up. But they're also easy fixes. The biggest thing that it takes takes your mind. You have to, actively understand, what's going on, what's wrong, and then, trying to not make the mistake twice. That's cliche to say, but it's important when you're trying to win ball games, and you've seen it, certain possessions, we let Grayson Allen or Content 1 and 2, come in and crash, get offensive putback. Those things, they matter. You may not look at them and, think it's a big thing, but, it is a big thing when you're trying to win ball games. Every possession matters, and it's all about just limiting the mistakes. And, it's okay, if you turn over the ball, that's fine, but it's just the little things, defensively, the rotations, making sure you're screening, make sure you have the proper spacing for a teammate to, have a decent look. Those things matter, and those things, they can't keep reoccurring, but at the same time, they're easy fixes. So.
Thanks, Kuz. Safe travels.
That's it, Kuz.